Imagine walking into your boss's office and telling him you want to be a top 5 paid employee in the entire company, while having weaknesses that your coworkers have to cover your butt for. That is exactly what Jalen Duren is doing by asking for 5 years, $287 million. For those who are unaware, a 5-year, $287 million contract, that puts you in the echelon of Luka Doncic's, Nikola Jokic's, Giannis Antetokounmpo's, Jason Tatum's. Is Jalen Duren even remotely close to that conversation? I'll save you the hassle of debating that. The answer is no. It is no. Today we are going to be looking at why paying Jalen Duren like an NBA superstar would be one of, if not the biggest mistakes the Detroit Pistons could or will ever make. If you guys like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It's totally free and it helps me in boatloads. At first glance, these numbers look incredible. A 20-10 guy. He's only 22 years old. Sign me up, right? But this is exactly why context matters. What makes the top centers in the NBA worth so much money? What makes Jokic elite? It would be his passing and his versatility. What makes Bam elite? That will be defense. What makes Wemby special? Literally everything, you know? But what does Jalen Duren do that is considered elite? Maybe rebound? He only averaged 10 a game for this season. He doesn't stretch the floor. He's not creating offense. He's not even a defensive anchor, which is what he should be as a center who's wanting $300 million. He's basically an athletic rim running center, and those players are valuable, do not get me wrong. However, they are not worth $60 million a year. Now, here's a great point that I like to make. Here's something that I want to make sure we're on the same page about. Are you paying the player he is or the player you hope he becomes? Detroit has already made mistakes betting on potential. Look at Andre Drummond. What I'm trying to say is that you cannot hand someone a supermax because they might improve. Supermax money should be reserved for players who have already changed franchises, not ones that you're banking on to change a franchise. That's where mistakes are made. And now here's the point I'm also trying to make. Firstly, Jalen Duren is asking for more money than Cade Cunningham makes. Jalen Duren is asking for more money than Cade Cunningham makes. Let me say that for the second time. So now let's say, for the hypothetical, you do pay Duren the $287 million max contract. What's next? You have Cade Duren. You're in second apron hell. You have no flexibility. No mid-level exception, no trades, no depth. No one's going to want to take that contract on. This contract would cripple the Detroit Pistons. Listen, this is coming across like a hate video on Jalen Duren, and I'm not meaning for it to come off like that because I like Jalen Duren. I think he's a really good player, but there is a massive difference between good player, great player, superstar, franchise cornerstone, whatever you want to call it. There's a difference between what he is and what he is trying to earn. I am all for paying him $30 to $40 million a year. But the problem is, we're not going to bet on upside. If Jalen Duren proves me wrong over the next 3 years, I'll gladly come back over this channel in a minute. I'm not a closed-minded individual, and like I said, I hope he does well. I just think that there's no universe where this makes sense for any team to pay Jalen Duren this money. I think if you asked 30 teams in the NBA, 30 teams would say, no, I'm not paying him that. That's all I got for today, guys. Let me know in the comments, what do you think we should do with Jalen Duren? I see sign and trades. I see let him take the qualifying offer and leave. We don't want him. Let me know what you guys think would be the best plan for Duren if you guys are the GM, and I'll respond to some comments. I want to hear you guys' input. So this is Bay Money again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.